بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is the final lesson of Unit 3, the self-reflection, far and away. So before we begin this lesson, let's revise what we previously took by just doing some exercises here. Rewrite each sentence to include adverbs. So we will be rewriting each sentence to include the adverb between the brackets here. The first one is already done for you. The first one is already done for you. I got robbed last week, and the adverb unfortunately. So it's unfortunately I got robbed last week. So number one, if I had the house for 10 minutes, and the adverb just. If I had left the house for 10 minutes. Again, if I had left the house for 10 minutes, and the adverb between the brackets, just. So remember the adverbs, do we put them before the noun, after the noun? So you have to pay attention. If I had left the house for 10 minutes, and remember again, the adverb, does it come before or after the noun, the verb, etc. Very good. Let's see the answer here. If I had just left the house for 10 minutes. So it came before the verb left. If I had just left the house for 10 minutes. Number two, the robber saw me leave. Probably. The robber saw me leave. Yes, excellent. The robber probably saw me leave, which means that I'm not sure, maybe, probably that he saw me leave. Number three, I didn't even lock the door. I didn't even lock the door, and the adverb admittedly. I didn't even lock the door, and the adverb admittedly. So, yes, that's correct. Admittedly, I didn't even lock the door. We put the adverb admittedly, the first word in the sentence, like the adverb honestly or frankly. Admittedly from the word admit, which is something when you say the truth. So this is, you're confessing here. Admittedly, I confess, I didn't lock the door. Number four, he must have been fast extremely. This is an intensive adverb. He must have been fast. So, yes, very good. He must have been extremely fast. We put it before the adjective fast. He must have been extremely fast. Number five, when I got back home, all of my electronics were gone, and the adverb completely. When I got back home, all of my electronics were gone, and the adverb completely. Yes, that's correct. When I got back home, all of my electronics were completely gone. What's the meaning of completely gone? Yes, that's correct. It means that there was nothing left. He took everything. All of my electronics were completely gone. Number six, I was upset, and the adverb intensive so. Yes, excellent. I was so upset. I called the police right away, and the adverb naturally. I called the police right away, and the adverb naturally. Excellent. We put naturally in the beginning of the sentence. Naturally, I called the police right away. When you put the adverb naturally in the beginning, this means that this is something expected to do. You say naturally, anyone would do this. So this is what was expected of me to do. If I see a crime, naturally, I would call the police. So here he said, naturally, I called the police right away. Number eight, they were nice, and the adverb very. Yes, very good. They were very nice. They were very nice. Number nine, there have been a lot of robberies lately, and the adverb apparently. There have been a lot of robberies lately, and the adverb apparently. Yes, apparently there have been a lot of robberies lately. apparently, something very obvious. This is the meaning of apparently, something very obvious. Anyone can see this. There have been a lot of robberies lately. Number 10, they think they will find him. And the adverb actually. They think they will find him. And the adverb actually. Yes, they actually think that they will find him. They actually think they will find him. Number 11, I hope they do. Obviously. Yes, I obviously hope they do. Jumping to the next exercise, page 112. Complete the conversation. Use the information in the chart. Use going to for definite plans and will for indefinite plans. Samir's weekend plans. We see the weekend here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Samir's plan here. On Thursday, he say maybe go to Hyle's Museum from 4 to 6 p.m. Definitely go to the Champions League football game 8 p.m. So there's a definitely and there's a maybe. Friday, both are definitely. Definitely go to the Friday market from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Definitely watch the camel races at 7 p.m. Saturday, maybe watch the Hyle rally 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and probably go to the barbecue at Badr's house at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So this is his plans, his probablys, his maybes, his definitelys, the things that he's planning to do on the weekend. So let's continue here the conversation between Ali and Samir and fill the gaps with the information from the chart. Ali says, hi Samir, what are you doing this weekend? Samir says, I'm making plans for the weekend. Maybe I go to the exhibition at the Hyle Museum on Thursday afternoon. So, yes, very good. I will go to the exhibition at the Hyle's Museum on Thursday afternoon. Ali says, that's going to be interesting. Are you going to stay all afternoon? Samir replied, no, I then probably stay for an hour or two. Yes, that's correct. I will probably stay for an hour or two. Do you want to go? Ali replied, sure. And I definitely, and the verb go, to the Champions League football game at night. So, yes. And I am definitely going to go to the Champions League football game at night. And remember, we can omit the second go. I'm definitely going to the Champions League. So you can omit it or put it. It's the same. Samir, me too. Let's get there at 7. Ali says, fine. I guess we probably be the first people there. So, very good. I guess we will probably be the first people there because they're getting there early at 7. And the game is at 8. So they're getting an hour earlier. Continuing here, Samir says, that's okay. We find great seats for sure. Yes, we are going to find great seats for sure. Are you going to the Friday market? Ali says, yes, I'm not going to spend the whole day there. I think it not be much fun. Not is a negative word here. Yes, won't be. Won't is the short version of will not. Won't be much fun. What about Saturday? Samir says, I and the verb watch the Hyle's rally early in the morning. So, yes, I'm going to watch the Hyle rally early in the morning, and I, very good, will probably stay till 3. Are you going to it? You bet. You bet, it means yes. You bet. Then, what are you going to do? Samir says, I, very good, I'm going to go to Badr's house for the barbecue on Saturday evening. Why don't you come with me? Ali says, thanks for the invite. Maybe I join you. Yes, maybe I will join you. Perhaps I call Badr to check it's okay with him first. And the verb call here Yes, perhaps I will call Badr to check with him first. This is today's lesson. Here is the lesson objective: self-evaluation and giving feedback. So today's lesson is actually for you, where you evaluate yourself after we finish this unit. And you see what were the lessons that were hard. Maybe the grammar, maybe the listening was hard for you. So you can evaluate and give feedback to tell your weaknesses through this unit and try to work on yourself to strengthen these weaknesses and make a better version of yourself. So this today's lesson is going to be all about self-evaluation and giving feedback. And don't forget always to ask your teacher for advice regarding this matter. So this is the self-reflection here. Things that I liked about Unit 3, things that I didn't like very much. Things that I liked about Unit 3. What did you like? Did you like the theme about traveling? Did you like the visual aids, the pictures, the audio, the videos maybe? Things that you didn't like. What didn't you like? Maybe some of the lessons, maybe some of the lessons maybe were hard for you. So this is an important part that you didn't like very much. Things I found easy in Unit 3, things that I found difficult in Unit 3. This is extremely important. The things that you found easy on you and the things that you found difficult, especially the difficult part, whether it's the grammar, the listening, the form, meaning, and function. If you find something difficult, write it here in this part so you can revise it again and maybe ask your teacher or a colleague to help you in this lesson. Maybe it's the grammar, maybe the adverbs, maybe the listening part. Maybe you didn't understand the theme of the unit, some of the vocabularies, and etc. And also the easy part is also important to you. And here's a chart that will help you evaluate yourself. This is a checklist where you read some things, some things here. Then you check them in these columns. Before we do the checklist, let's read the columns. I can do this very well. So we will read these parts here. I can do this very well. We'll read the lessons. If you found it very easy for you, check in this column. I can do this quite well. I can do this not very well, just a little bit, quite well. So it's, let's say, half and half. I need to study and practice more. If you find this specific part of the unit hard for you, difficult for you, check on this column here and practice more. So be honest with yourself. You are the only beneficial of this chart here. So you know your weaknesses, and then you can work, as said here, work and study and practice more. So let's read this checklist. The first one, talk about travel experiences and travel dreams. Discuss hotels and services. So you see, talk about travel experiences and travel dreams. Discuss hotel services. So the whole theme of this unit, was it easy for you or hard for you? And remember the quotation here from Miriam Bird. Certainly travel is more than seeing of sights. It's a change that goes on deep and permanent in the ideas of the living. Maybe this quotation was hard for you. You didn't fully understand it. She's saying here that travel is just seeing the sights. There's something more. These sights makes a change in you, as she mentioned here. It's a change that goes on deep and permanent. These changes are permanent. They're not just temporary. They're not just part of time. They are permanent in the ideas of the living. If you don't understand it, if it's difficult for you, check the last column and you review it and revise it more. Also, what are the 5 things you expect at a hotel? If you remember the hotel lesson and the listen and discuss, the facilities of the hotel. Was it hard for you? The reception here, or the bedroom, as we mentioned previously, the maybe the living room, and also here the types of hotels. If you remember, the undersea hotel, the above the trees hotel, the frozen hotel, let's call it the frozen hotel, that looks like an igloo where you sleep in the snow, or the capsule hotels. So this lesson, from the listen and discuss, was it easy for you? Was it half and half, quite easy, or was it difficult? So it's up to you to check this column here. If it's difficult, check here and you practice more. And here, make and decline special requests. Make and decline special requests. If you remember this box, making and declining special requests. If you want to make a special request, I wonder if it would be possible. Do you think it would be possible? So you're making some special requests. For example, if you're in a hotel and you want an extra bed, for example, this is a special request. Then you call them and you say, I wonder if it would be possible to get an extra bed, and etc. Then they will reply, maybe, unfortunately, that's not possible, that won't be possible, I'm afraid we can't, and etc. So this is making and declining special request. Also here he says, I wish it were possible, but we can't. You called the reception, and then they said, or the room service maybe, and then they replied, sorry, we can't. And if you remember the next part, use the adverbs of degree and also the sentence adverbs. If you remember the adverbs of degree here, absolutely, completely, hardly. It says here, adverbs of degree tell us about the intensity of the verb, adjective or other adverbs. Some common adverbs of degree, so, to, very, quite, rather. So this shows you the intensity of the verb. Is it very big? Is it extremely big? Is it quite big? So if you don't understand this lesson, also here adverbs of degree usually go before the main verb. They modify before the main verb. And like the example here, I've almost finished packing. So almost came before finished. Adverbs of degree usually go before the adjectives also, or the adverb. As we said, it's very big, it's very small. So the adverb very comes before the adjective. So the adverbs of degree, if you can do this very well, if it's easy for you, you check this first column. It's if it's quite well, the second column. If you need more practice, check the last column. Also, the sentence adverbs here that we begin the sentence with, it's connected to your attitude. If you remember, when you say actually, obviously, frankly, etc. Sentence adverbs modify an entire sentence. They modify the whole sentence or a whole clause within a sentence. They indicate the attitude. Remember, sentence adverbs are always connected to the attitude of the speaker. When you say admittedly, it means you admit something. When you say frankly, it means you are saying what you think that is correct. When you say, for example, here, undoubtedly, it means that this is something you are 100% sure. So all of these words are connected to something, to you, your attitude, what you think. Also, some of the sentence adverbs usually go at the beginning of a sentence, just as I said. So if the sentence adverbs lesson, you can do this very well, check the first column. Quite well, the second column. If you think that you need to study more, check the last column. Talk about the future with going, to be, and will. If you remember this lesson in the form, meaning, and function. Future with going to and will. We use be plus going to talk about plans. So be and going to, plans, something that you planned. We use will plus maybe or probably for uncertain, indefinite plans. So be plus going to, something that you planned 100%. Will and maybe and probably, something that you're not sure you're doing, you are uncertain. For example, here when you say, What are you going to do on your vacation? The first example here. Where will you stay? I'm going to travel to Europe. So there's no maybes and probablys here. This is 100%. I'm going to travel to Europe. You're sure. You booked the plane. Maybe I'll stay with friends. Maybe I'll stay with friends. You're not sure. Maybe at a friend's house or maybe at a hotel. So if this lesson is easy to you or hard or difficult, check the correct column for you. Ask information question. If you remember information questions, the WH questions, what to ask for an action, when to ask for a time, when is she going to leave, to ask about when something is happening. Which countries is he going to visit, which is asking for an option here. How are we going to go, where is asking for a location, if you remember the lesson, where am I going to stay, who is going to travel with them. Who is always asking about people, whether it's a singular a person or a group of people. Who is coming? You say Muhammad. When you ask who is coming, maybe I will say Muhammad and Ahmed and Abdullah, etc. So it's not a singular or plural, it's both of them. How long? How long? So you're asking about how long something will happen. How long are they going to stay? So you're asking about a time period here. So if it's easy for you, check the box where you say, I can do this very well. If it's difficult, check the last one. Know about the position of the adjectives. I think this is an easy one. Position of adjectives. Antarctica is an exotic place. Exotic place. So here it's before nouns, exotic place. Antarctica is exotic. It came after the verb be. So here, the first one, it came before the noun place. The second one, it came after the verb be. If you find this confusing, you can check the last column. Know about the position of adjectives. Last one, use the present progressive to make future arrangement. You know the present progressive talking about the now, but what about talking about the present progressive about future arrangement? If you remember, present progressive, we use the present progressive for action happening now or for definite arrangements in the future. My friends are waiting for me at the airport. He's talking about now. My friends are arriving tomorrow. So this is using the present progressive, but we're talking about the future, even though it's called the present progressive, but here we are talking about the future. The second example here, what are you doing tonight? Tonight. Maybe you can say, I'm going to Mecca next weekend. So you can use the present progressive to talk about the future. So don't focus on the name of the grammar. So also remember, the present progressive is formed with the present form of be plus the ing form of the verb. The present form, whether it's am, is, or are, and then the ing form of the verb. The last part of the self-reflection here, list 5 of your favorite new words from Unit 3. You can add more than 5. Of course, this unit is filled with interesting vocabularies because it's talking about travel and ecotourism and hotels, etc. So it's important to you to learn new words from this unit. If you're still not sure about something from Unit 3, this is important here, pay attention. If you're still confused, not sure about something, read through the unit again, read it again and again, listen to the audio materials again, study the grammar and functions from the unit again, and this is the most important part. When all the doors are closed, always go to ask your teacher. Always go to ask your teacher. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson and unit. See you next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.